honored to be here. We start off on a really good note with showmanship here this morning. I've pulled these three young individuals to come back for our finals. Again, in showmanship, not to beat a dead horse in terms of the things that everybody says, but not only is it about feet placement, it's about having a little bit of confidence and a little bit of ring presence out here, coming out here, doing your job, getting your animal set up to the best of that animal's ability as quickly as possible so that I get the best look of that animal. I thought those three young individuals did an exceptional job of that, and I know I'm going to try and take time with you guys in terms of showmanship today, but we've got a lot of kids to get through and a lot of cattle to get through later in the steer show. So let's give all these kids a big round of applause. Again, congratulations to these three for making it back to the finals.
Well, over here on the other side, in this other ring, we went ahead and get kicked off here in the intermediate division, and we're going to go ahead and pull back these three youngsters over here alongside the fence, and then we went ahead and talked with these rest of these individuals on some stuff they could work on at home in terms of preparation for the rest of the show season and into the summer. We commend these kids on coming out here and getting their animals to this first show. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause as we work through the rest of the division.
Congratulations to our first group of senior and intermediate showmen. Getting ready to bring in our break number 2 of our senior showmen. Coming back from the senior side will be Exhibitor 141, Kyra Meyer, Exhibitor 306, Addison Grodelution, and Exhibitor 248, Braden Day. On the intermediate side, coming back for the intermediate drive, Exhibitor 150, Asa Andrews, 221, Brianna Brown, and Exhibitor 26, Grady Moody. Group number 2 of our senior and group number 2 of our intermediate showmen set to enter the ring. If you're getting a little hungry as you help get these cattle ready this morning and haven't had a chance to eat, Cactus Jack's is open if you're looking for some breakfast.
Another really good heat of these senior showman guys, and honestly, I could probably pull just a couple more out here in this heat, but again, trying to keep down on numbers, and I'm already envisioning that we're going to have to do a semifinals of some sort. These kids are awfully good, and as part of showmanship, sometimes you don't have the best dance partners, sometimes your animal doesn't want to cooperate with you, and that's part of it. Again, all of these kids do a tremendous job. These three young ladies that I pulled over here are going to make it back to the finals. Let's congratulate them.
Well, as we get out here in your second class here on the intermediate side, a little smaller class here in this next heat of this division. But with that being said, I think there's two really high-quality showmen that are going to get pulled over here back to the finals. And nothing against these three. Maybe their animals just didn't want to cooperate with them the best of their abilities today. But we commend those kids on coming out, getting those animals stuck, and working with them in preparation for the rest of the show season. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Here's your results of round two. First with the senior showman, exhibitor 142, Casey Meyer, exhibitor 12, Nicole Nichols, and exhibitor 169, Bianca Wood. Side note, we will be having semifinals after the first four, so after class four, semifinals will take place. Entering the ring now on the senior side is your class number 3. On the north side, entering the ring is class 3. They too will be doing their semis after class 4. Intermediate class 2 coming back for those semis, exhibitor 189, Josie Johnson, and exhibitor 14, Lagana Barta.
the deepest heat of these senior showmen that we have had in the ring thus far today. And I'm going to ask these 4 young ladies over here to come back. Again, truthfully, guys, I could ask every single one of these kids to come back in this heat. I guess just in terms of ring presence and feet placement, the way they utilize the ring, I thought all of them did a tremendous job. And it just comes down to little tiny things sometimes in terms of exactly where your feet are at, how quickly you get to that point, and how well your animal is working with you. Tremendous job all the way through, guys. Let's congratulate those 4 on making it back to the finals.
Class number 4 coming in for our senior showmanship. Again, after this class, we will be doing the semis on the senior side. Here's your results of break number 3 on the seniors. Coming back will be exhibitor 296, Jaylee Halstead. Exhibitor 154, Delaney Irwin. Exhibitor 297, Sophie Kotowski. Exhibitor 54, Michaela Shuttles.
As we get over here for your next heat in the intermediate division, a big class here and a really high quality class with some depth here, and maybe we got a little too nitpicky on a few of them out here, but we're going to go ahead and bring back these 3 young ladies over here along the fence for the final. We went ahead and talked with all these youngsters over here and line up some things that maybe got them today, some things they could work on in preparation for the rest of the year. Things like utilizing the whole ring, things that it comes down to at the end is not being afraid to circle that calf and get that calf set up there and his feet set right and presented to the best of its ability, utilizing the whole ring. But other than that, these kids did an awesome job. Let's give all of them a big round of applause, and we'll look forward to getting these 3 back out here to the finals.
In your break 3 class of intermediates coming back, exhibitor 103, Tasha Elber. Exhibitor 163, Carly Coulterman, and exhibitor 200, Morgan Clement. One more class in our intermediates, class number 4 coming in the ring here momentarily, then we will have semifinals as well on the intermediate side. On a side note, Purina Mills, thank you so much. The top 5 in the senior, intermediate, and juniors, the top 5 in showmanship, will be receiving certificates for jackets from the great folks at Purina Mills.
a little bit smaller heat over here on our senior side, and certainly still a lot of quality in these kids. Again, there's several of them out here that are working with animals that maybe just don't want to cooperate with them quite like they need to. Gentlemen up here at the front, I thought you did a really, really nice job. Just make sure you're cognizant of where everybody is in the ring. The gentleman in front of you pulled out, so go ahead and fill that hole in front of you. Always do that. And Chisholm brings up a really, really good point on the other side. You know, I think there's probably some people that want to ding or hurt kids a little bit for going ahead and taking that circle. But again, showmanship, whether it's in showmanship, whether it's in the ring, when you're actually showing the show, is always on how you set your animal up and make that animal look to the best of their ability. If that animal is not in line, not in the right spot, it's okay to take that circle, get back in line, get your animal set to the right spot. Again, awesome group of kids. Let's congratulate these two young people for making it back to the semifinals.
In your fourth class, coming back on the senior side, Exhibitor 188, Clara Johnson, and Exhibitor 67, Christine Kukendall. Bringing them all back in, the ones from classes 1 through 4 that made it to the semifinals.
Well, another really good group, intermediate showmen out here. It's a pleasure to be doing this with my lovely wife. When I was showing, I always got beat by the cute-looking younger girls. So, boys, I'll stand up for you, and you guys got it done today. We'll pull back the three boys here, and she'll stand up for the girls, I'm sure. So we'll argue a little bit here and there. But these three boys did an excellent job of getting these things set up. They were calm and collected. All these young girls did a nice job too as well. We went ahead and talked with them about some things they could work on in the rest of the show season. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause. We look forward to getting these back out here for the semifinals.
As I get them reorganized to come in for the semifinals on the intermediate, coming back, Exhibitor 226, Braden Snell, Exhibitor 216, Tristan Cisco, and Exhibitor 198, Brayston Huxwell. Again, semifinals are coming in for the intermediate and are underway in the seniors.
I told myself out here in this semifinal I was only going to keep 5, and I ended up keeping 6. Sorry, guys. These kids are just incredibly good, and when it gets to this level, as I'm sure we'll see it in our finals, it just comes down to so many little things. And when I say little things, I mean doing the extras in terms of using that show stick to get their tail down, making sure their loin is in them. When you walk them, making sure their head is at the exact right level level for that animal. Not every single one of them needs to have their head completely sky high. And then some of them actually benefit from letting them have their heads just a little bit. All of the little things that separate truly great showmen from really good showmen. And every single one of these kids out here does a really good job. And probably a hint to those kids that are about to come out in the ring, a pet peeve of mine, especially in showmanship, but just in general, it is not staying in line. Make sure you keep that animal in line. Don't bump that animal out. Don't get out of line. It does not benefit you. It does not benefit your animal any to not be in line to get that animal closer to me. Honestly, as a judge, it's frankly just annoying. So not to say any of these kids did that out here. I just think all of these kids that I pulled for your finals over here just did a tremendous job. You guys all are incredibly good showmen. Let's give these kids a round of applause. Congratulations to you six.
Here's your results from your senior semifinals. Exhibitor 141, Kira Meyer. 248 is Braden Day. 142, Casey Meyer. Exhibitor 12, Nicole Nichols. Exhibitor 296, Jaylee Halstead. And Exhibitor 169, Bianca Wood. They will be coming in for the final drive following the next four classes.
Well, as we got out here for your first semifinal group here in the intermediate division, wow, an outstanding group of 11 showmen out here. We're going to go ahead and bring back these five over here along the fence for the finals in this particular division. But all these youngsters did a great job. They made it here to the finals. They're really good showmen. We went ahead and talked about the nitpicky differences that maybe sorted them out of the top five in this semifinal heat. But with that that being said, like Ashley had stated over there, something that we look forward to as well is we don't like them out of line. Just pay attention to where that first animal is and where they line up, and then just alter that all the way down the line, and it just makes things go a lot smoother and a lot easier, and you won't stick out like a sore thumb. With that being said, though, let's give all these kids a big round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Here's the results on the intermediate semifinals. Exhibitor 198, Brayston Huxwell. Exhibitor 226, Braden Snell. Exhibitor 189, Josie Johnson. Exhibitor 14, McGunn Barta, and Exhibitor 103, Keisha Albert. Those will be coming back for the finals after the next 4 classes of intermediate.
Another really deep heat again of these seniors, and these kids do a tremendous job out here. Excuse me. These kids do a tremendous job out here, and I'm going to pull again these 3 young ladies to come back for the finals, just in terms of feet placement and, again, making sure their animals are in the right position. And I talked about it earlier. It's okay to take that circle. If that animal isn't set like they need to be, if that animal's not in the right spot and in line, again, showmanship should always be about making sure the animal looks to the best of their ability, and go ahead and take that circle and get back right. And so I think all 3 of those young ladies do a tremendous job of that. Good group of showmen. Let's congratulate them.
Coming back to the semifinals out of Class 5 on our senior showman, Exhibitor 207, Tatum Schroeder. Exhibitor 177, Casey Jones, and Exhibitor 186, JC Wolfinger.
Another really nice heat, intermediates over here on the other ring. With that being said, we thought these two young ladies did some of the extras, maybe just getting their calf set up, the feet in the right spot, and not being afraid to take that circle, get relined up, and then stay calm and collected, but still have that intensity that says they're here to win and here to compete. But with that being said, we went ahead and talked with each of these individuals about some things they can continue to work on the rest of the show season. Let's give everybody a big round of applause. We look forward to getting these two back out here for the semifinals.
All right, for your Class 5 on the intermediate side. Coming back for the semifinals, Exhibitor 219, Catherine Neighbor, and Exhibitor 223, Paige Wolohoski. Again, thank you to Purina Mills for their sponsorship of the jackets. Each of our top 5 in our senior, intermediate, and juniors will be receiving a certificate for a jacket, compliments of Purina Mills. Our champion showman also will receive $100. Your reserve will receive $50 in each of the age divisions. And also thank you to Next Level. They're your official show photographer.
Another incredibly deep group of these showmen, and I'm going to ask these 4 young individuals to come back. And I take a little bit more time out here because, again, this is a group of showmen out here in this heat, and it happens from time to time where you get all of the good kids all out there at the same time. And every single one of these kids does a tremendous job in terms of covering the basics. So but essentially we're out here in almost semifinals because everybody out here can walk their animals into their feet. They're good in terms of feet placement. Again, it's how quick and how efficiently you can get that animal into the right spot. And I guess for me, especially in showmanship as well, a little bit of part of it is how you handle adversity and how you handle your animal working with you, because not every single time is your animal going to want to be the best and want to act the best, and being able to handle that adversity and stay calm and stay collected and stay confident in yourself, I think it is really, really important. We've got a couple of these kids that I pulled that I thought did a tremendous job of that. Let's congratulate all of them as they exit the ring.
In your Class 6 of senior showmen, coming back for that semifinal drive will be Exhibitor 268, Kane DeLa, Exhibitor 120, J.C. Schmidt, Exhibitor 106, Garrett Schultz, and Exhibitor 224, Spencer Wolohoski.
Out here in this heat, I guess you'd think I'd have a prejudice towards Hereford Showman. I promise you I do not. I think all three of these kids over here that I pulled did a tremendous job. And again, a little bit different heat than the one we just had, just in terms of how these animals are wanting to work with these kids. And I think that's a little bit more of a battle out here, just in terms of these animals wanting to come out and cooperate. And again, that's where you handle adversity, how you handle yourself, how you get that animal out, get them back set, and I think there's a couple of these kids that did a really, really nice job of that. Congratulations to you three on making it back to the finals. Let's give them a hand.
Well, another really nice heat over here on the intermediate side. We're going to go ahead and pull back these two young ladies and the young man in the cowboy hat. We thought they did some of the extras of being calm and collected, staying in line, utilizing the whole ring, their corners not cutting them tight, still being calm and collected if that calf doesn't want to cooperate. I think that's one of the biggest challenges is we are looking for you to do this the most efficient, but you're not going to force that animal to do it either out here today. That comes from preparation at home, working with that calf and making you a makeshift show ring at home and utilizing that and practicing so when you're out here, that calf knows what they're doing. They're used to it. They walk into place. They utilize the whole ring and they work with you and cooperate with you. But with that being said, we went ahead and talked with all of these these kids about some things they could improve on. Let's give them a hand as they head back.
Here's the results out of Class 7 of our senior showmen coming back for the semifinals. Exhibitor 147, Kaylee Moeller. Exhibitor 165, Abby Stahlbaumer. And Exhibitor 298, Seth Wirt. On the intermediate side, out of Class 6, coming back for the semifinals, Exhibitor 114, Gracie Clausen. Exhibitor 187, Jalen Wolfinger. And Exhibitor 210, Jackson Snell.
I believe this is our last heat of your senior showman, and a really nice way to go out. These three individuals that I pulled did a tremendous job, and again, I could probably go 4 or 5 deep in this heat. Just a lot of talent and a lot of ability in these kids. Definitely kids that come out here and do their job exceptionally well, and so I think that's a testament to the quality of showmen that are out here. Another really, really good group. Let's go ahead and congratulate them. Congratulations to you three for making it back to the semifinals.
All right, coming out of Class 8 for the semifinals, Exhibitor 178, Bailey Sutlick, Exhibitor 86, Devin Benish, and Exhibitor 117, Cole Bruce.
Another really good heat of intermediate showmen over here, and these three did an excellent job and separated themselves pretty quick from the go-get. They came in, they had that intensity, they had that extra pizzazz about them. They weren't too slow to get that animal set up. They did it quick and they did it calmly and efficiently. They were pretty quick to get pulled in this particular heat, but that's nothing to take away from the rest of the youngsters left out here. We went ahead and talked with them about some things they could improve on and work on here into the rest of the year. But with that being said, they're all still really good showmen. Let's give all of them a big round of applause as they head back.
Your results coming from the 7th class. Exhibitor 21, Kyler Pugi. Exhibitor 310, Anna Fisher. And Exhibitor 61, Colton Croker. Final class of our intermediate showmen set to come in the ring. And if you look over to the south ring, this is your second semifinals of senior showmen.
Well, as we get out here for our second to last heat over here in the intermediate division, really competitive heat here. We're going to go ahead and pull back these four young ladies. We think they all did an excellent job and separated themselves in this particular heat. With that being said, though, we went ahead and talked with these individuals about some the things that got them down here towards the end. But let's give them a round of applause. We commend all these young individuals for coming out here today.
This is tough, guys. These kids do just a phenomenal job out here, and it's really, again, down to just little tiny things. And I know it's crazy to think about, but it really starts from the very first time that you hit the ring, and it's all the way through, from the first time you hit the ring in your heat, when you're walking out, when you come back in, every single second. And I know it's crazy to think, well, how do you as a judge remember that? And I promise you, every judge will tell you the same. You do. You remember the kids who come in here and just do every single little thing right every single little time, and that's how tough it is out here. Again, I could pull 7, 8, 9 deep out here to come back to your finals. I thought these 5 individuals over here just did a flawless job in terms of coming out here, working with their animals, doing their jobs, making sure that animal was in the right position every single time. An awesome group of kids, awesome group of the semifinals. Let's give them all a round of applause.
As we get ready now for the semifinals on our intermediate side, coming back out of Class 8 is Exhibitor 116, Caitlin Bruss, Exhibitor 75, Naya Ruda, Exhibitor 161, Bailey Grant, and Exhibitor 250, Tinley Luby. Again, semifinals are underway on the intermediate side. We're going to get on the senior side, get them rearranged to come in for our finals, but the semifinals out of the senior class, number 2 of the semis, 186, J.C. Wolfinger, Exhibitor 106, Garrett Schultz, Exhibitor 224, Spencer Walahoski, Exhibitor 165, Abby Stahlbaumer, and Exhibitor 86, Devin Benish. Don't forget, a big thank you to Purina Mills for their sponsorship of the jackets for our top 5 and the senior, intermediate, and junior showmen. Our youth will be receiving a certificate for those jackets, compliments of Purina Mills. Also, our champion showmen in all age divisions will receive $100. Our reserve will receive $50.
Well, Susan, you know, the senior final drive is always an important time here at the Classic, and I want to take just a moment and introduce and recognize we have Tyler Bennett's family here, and his mom, dad, sister, nephew, brother-in-law, and you know, Tyler Bennett was a young man that was tragically killed in a car wreck about 11 years ago. And we recognize him at the judging contest, and I want to take a moment just to talk a little bit about the young man. He was a freshman at Hutchinson Community College in Hutchinson, Kansas, and he was a young man that was extremely passionate about judging, but he was incredibly passionate about showmanship. I had the honor of knowing Tyler, seeing him at State Fair, Exarban, and he always had the attitude that, you know what, that was the most important class of the day. And you would lots of times hear him in the back, you know, as kids were waiting to go in line, and he'd say, "Stay calm, guys, stay calm." stay collected, stay cool. And so when Tyler was killed in his car wreck, and I actually went to Tyler's funeral. And for a young man that was just a freshman in college, I tell you what, that funeral was packed probably with way more people than what we got in this house today. And it was packed with cattlemen from across the nation. It was packed with livestock judging team coaches that this young man had made an impact on. He was extremely passionate, and I remember one conversation with the young man one day. We were standing there, and I said, "What do you want to do, Tyler, when you graduate?" He said, "I want Matt Prince's job with the American Angus Association." He goes, "I want to work for a breed association. I want to work with juniors." And so it was only fitting when Tyler's family came to me and said, "Hey, we'd really like to do a memorial at the Classic. Would you like to help us?" I'm like, absolutely. If we can have the chance to honor an individual that wanted to make a difference, wanted to leave a legacy, the Classic is very honored to do that. Tyler Bennett's family, they take it upon themselves. They're doing cash awards. We've got a traveling trophy. They've got bags. I'm going to ask you, let's put our hands together for this family that's been dedicated to investing to the next generation.
Well, as we get out here for your final heat in the intermediate division, we thought all three of these did an excellent job. They separated themselves pretty quickly in this particular class. Some of these animals aren't wanting to work with their partner just the best as they probably could, but with the only thing you can change that is just practice and repetition at home. I think all these kids are still really good showmen. We went ahead and visited with them, but let's give all of them a big hand as they head back.
We're now going to get ready for the semis on the intermediate, your final class of 9. Coming back will be Exhibitor 241, Addison Krause, Exhibitor 194, Landon Linneman, and Exhibitor 145, Clara Morgan. Ladies, if you see where Ronette is standing right now, we have got a really cool bag, and if you head over to Ruthie K's, she's over by the Kubota tractors, you can get yourself signed up. You must be present to win, but we are going to be doing a drawing later on this evening.
Before I go ahead and get you your top 5 out here in these senior showmen, I just want to reiterate how wonderful I think it is that your guys' family has sponsored the Showmanship in honor of your son. And I agree with Tyler. I think that Showmanship is incredibly, incredibly important. Sorry. I think Showmanship is incredibly important, and I don't think that we value it enough. Because Showmanship's the one time where you get to come out here in the ring, and it doesn't matter if you're showing the best one or the worst one. You get judged, or you should be judged, based on your talent and your ability alone. And I think that that's something that we should value, because in the world that we live in, there are very few times where you will ever be able to come out here and just get judged, not based on anything else other than your talent and your ability and your skills. And I think that it's absolutely tremendous that you guys have sponsored this in honor of your son and in honor of somebody that I didn't know but sounds like such an incredible, incredible person. Let's go ahead and give them a huge, huge round of applause. To get to your kids out here, I mean, guys, this is so nitpicky and this is so close. And these top 5 showmen, we have conversations, or I have conversations with people all the time. What's the difference out there in terms of showmanship? And really the only explanation is some people got it and some people don't. And these kids, they've all got it, guys. And again, it comes down to really, really nitpicky things. I'm going to go out here on the mic and place them from the bottom all the way down, from the bottom all the way up to the top. Young man here down here is going to be 5th today. Let's give him a round of applause. Gentleman does a tremendous job out here in terms of working with that heifer. Out here towards the end, she maybe just wanted to keep moving around on him, get a little bit stretched out on him, and maybe just wasn't perfect in terms of feet placement every single time. But man, that gentleman does just such a tremendous job in terms of his ability out here to work with that animal. So flawless and really just smooth in terms of the way that he handles himself. From there, we get really, really close, and again, it's nitpicky things. Gentleman here with the steer is going to be fourth today. Let's give him a round of applause. That young man does an awesome job, guys, and the best way I can describe it is that you probably don't have the flair of some of the young ladies out here, but you're just a silent assassin. I mean, that steer is never out of place. That steer is never not set up. The way that you come out here and handle yourself, walk that steer, just, you guys are such an awesome, awesome team. Thought you did a tremendous job. Out here, as I was talking, he got a little bit shifted and his feet weren't exactly right. That's the only reason you're down here in fourth. Unfortunately, sometimes showmanship just becomes a measure of time out here, and I'm just waiting for one of you guys to screw up so that I know where to place you guys. You did an awesome job. From there, these top three young ladies, I've had them a million different ways in terms of, you know, how I wanted to place them. And again, it starts from the minute that you hit the ring, guys, and that's what I'm saying is it's the whole thing. It's how you handled yourself through your heat, through your semifinal, all the way down to this point. I always go through, especially on these older kids, and ask, what do you like about your animal? What do you want to change about your animal? I think that's very indicative of the kids who actually spend time in the barn and can objectively look at their animal and say, this is what I like about him and this is what I don't like about him. Because I think very often we can get barn blind and think that we've all got great ones. And it's hard because you spend so much time and you spend so much money, but I think it's really, really important to be able to look at that animal and know where they're good, where they're bad, because that also helps you as a showman to be able to hide that. And I think all three of those young ladies did a tremendous job. Again, this is just how I see them today. All three of them are fabulous. Young lady with the Hereford, you're going to be third. Young lady at the front, you're going to be second. Young lady right here, you'll be first. Let's congratulate them.
Well, as we get over here for the last portion of semifinals here in the intermediate division, all five of these kids here in the center of the ring did an outstanding job. We look forward to getting them back out here for the finals here in this particular division. That's nothing to take away from the other kids around the outside of the ring, though. They did the extras in getting them here to the finals. Let's give all of them a big round of applause. We went ahead and visited with them.
So for our exhibitors on the seniors, they would like to have you line up and have your cattle facing the announcer stand. Our photographer wants to get a really cool headshot of you guys all lined up together, starting with our first place, and then moving to your left, the remaining placings. And then you're asked to pass off your animal to somebody, mom, dad, grandparent, aunt, uncle, and just take your sticks and head right over to the backdrop with the folks from Next Level. And also to let you know, you can look at those photos at nextlevelimages.com. Here's our semis in the intermediate as they get ready to bring them in for their final drive. Exhibitor 21, Kyler Plugi. Exhibitor 194, Landon Linneman. Exhibitor 241, Addison Krause. Exhibitor 250, Tinley Luby. And Exhibitor 61, Colton Croker.
read my mind. Congratulations to all of our seniors. Make sure you go take your sticks, go to the backdrop. Your banners, your jacket certificates are all over at the backdrop. So congratulations to all of our seniors.
Have them come through the north door because they've got
You guys can go clear to that north overhead door to get into the picture backdrop. So go clear to the north overhead door.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations to our seniors. Now that we have all their names compiled, and that, by the way, was a really cool photo with them all lined up. Your first will go to Kira Meyer, second to Casey Meyer, third will be Abby Stahlbaumer, fourth to Braden Day, fifth is to Garrett Schultz, sixth to Jaylee Halstead, seventh is Devin Benish, eighth JC Wolfinger, ninth Nicole Nichols, 10th Spencer Wolochowski, and 11th it goes to Bianca Wood. So congratulations to all our seniors. Again, thanks to Purina Mills. Our top 5 in our senior, intermediate, and juniors will be receiving a certificate for a jacket thanks to the folks at Purina Mills. And our champion and reserve in each age division, champion receives $100, $50 will go to our reserve. They are wasting no time on the south side. We are jumping into our junior showmanship. This is class 1 of junior showman.
Well, what an outstanding top 10 here in the intermediate division. And as we got these top 10 out here for the finals, it got really, really tough for us to select our top 5. And these 5 over here along the fence, they will be your top 5. And we'll go select them from bottom up here in just a second. But I do think one of the challenging things with showmanship, and it's not my favorite to judge because it's so challenging when you get here to the top end. You know, maybe those showmen that are some of the better towards the top end of their heat are pretty quick to gravitate towards the top and are pretty quick to bring back towards the finals. But when you get down here towards the top 10 at any given show, if it's competitive, it gets really, really hard to select your grand and reserve. And I commend all those young kids on that because this top 10 could be shuffled around in any given way on any other day. And I'm sure people ringside, parents and grandparents probably have different preference than us, and that's probably one of the things that I don't enjoy the most about showmanship because of that. They're all good. They all can separate themselves. With that being said, though, showmanship is one of the things you can control, like Ashley had stated over there in the other ring. That is what I do enjoy about showmanship. It doesn't matter if you bring the best animal or the worst animal, as long as you're presenting that animal to the best of its ability, you've done the work and your homework with it at home, you have the chance to come out here and win because it's all about you, not about your animal. So let's put your hands together for all these kids out here, and we'll go show you a top 5 from bottom up.
A nice way to start in on these junior showmen, and again, kids that I thought came out here did a really nice job of coming out here and walking their animals into it, especially young lady here at the end. I can tell you clearly spent a lot of time with him to be able to come out here and do this without a show stick, and it's very, very impressive. All 3 of those kids just did a fabulous job. I went through and talked to the kids that didn't pull, just about little things to help them, or maybe even just little reasons why they didn't get pulled today. Let's congratulate these junior showmen as they exit.
Congratulations to all of our intermediates. So top 10 intermediate, take your sticks, go to the backdrop, and you'll receive jackets, there's certificates. So top 10 intermediate, take your sticks and go to the backdrop.
Results of Class 1 of your junior showman: Exhibitor 4, Jaden Thompson; Exhibitor 59, Hayden Helms; and Exhibitor 92, Shay Pospisil, will be coming back for the semifinals. Your finals on your intermediate showman: first went to Exhibitor 21, Kyler Plugi. Exhibitor 250 is in second, that's Tinley Luby. In third, Exhibitor 14, Logan Barta. Fourth went to Exhibitor 194, Landon Linneman. Fifth goes to Exhibitor 226, Braden Snell. Sixth was Exhibitor 103, Keisha Alber. Exhibitor 198 in seventh, that's Braxton Hawkswell. Exhibitor 241 in eighth, Addison Krause. Ninth place went to Exhibitor 189, Josie Johnson. And in 10th, Exhibitor 61, Colton Croker. And soon here on the North Ring, we'll be getting underway with our Pee Wee showman. Just a reminder, all backdrop photos can be found by going to nextlevelimages.com, and of course those images as well taken from the show ring. A thank you again to Purina Mills for the certificates for the jackets for our top 5 senior, intermediate, and junior showmen. At noon will be our market show heifers, then followed by the steers. Then later this afternoon, we'll have our classic Premier heifer selection and our classic Premier steer show.
A nice heat of these junior showmen, and really a class all the way through where we maybe just don't have some animals that want to cooperate with these young kids today, and that's part of it. I thought all 3 of these young individuals over here did a really nice job of coming out here, handling themselves really, really well, working through the adversity, working through their animals not wanting to work with them quite as well, and still getting them set up. Went through and talked to those kids that I didn't pull about just little things, and again, a lot of it has to do with maybe just cattle that don't want to cooperate with them quite as well today. A nice class or a nice heat of these showmen. Let's congratulate them.
Coming back for the semifinals out of heat number 2, Exhibitor 171, Josie Wilson. Exhibitor 30, Collins Porter. And Exhibitor 33, Hadley Dunkla. Let's draw your attention to the North Ring. We are now underway with our first of 2 heats of our Pee Wee Showmanship. Just a reminder to our intermediate showmen that should have received their certificates for their jackets, those top 5, make sure that you have picked up your certificate. You can do so right next to the intermediate show ring.
Well, as we get out here in the Pee Wee division, this is definitely not easy. It's fun for these kids, for sure, and we're excited to have these 5 come back for the finals. We're going to pick a top 10 after the second class. So these kids over here, Chisholm went ahead and talked to them to just try and give them a few things to work on at home, but these kids over here are the 5 that are going to come back. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
A really competitive heat of these junior showmen again, and one of those that there's probably a couple of gentlemen out here that I could have pulled, 4 or 5 deep, but again, to try and make sure we don't have too many of these cattle out here, I went through and talked to each one of those just in terms of little things as to why they didn't get pulled or little things to improve on. Thought these 3 that are coming back for the finals did a tremendous job. Let's congratulate all of them.
Now of Class 3 of our junior showmen, Exhibitor 170, Michael Coulterman, Exhibitor 252, Jared Hansen, and Exhibitor 190, Lauren Johnson. We will be doing a semi, bringing them back after Class 5 on the junior side. We'll get you those Pee Wee numbers here in just a moment. This is our second class of Pee Wees entering the ring. Those are 6- and 7-year-olds, by the way. Coming back on the Pee Wee side for their finals. We will have 236, Blakely Katz, 148, Corbin Morgan, 196, Autrey Pearson, 160, Aisley Beach, and 304, Jaron Hansen.
All these kids out here are doing an excellent job working with their heifers. Definitely some practice out here, but Chisholm went ahead and talked to these two over here, and we're going to keep these 5. They're doing a really nice job to come back for the finals. So let's give them a hand.
Out of Class 4 on the Junior Showman coming back for the semi-drive, which will be after Class 5 here on the South Ring. Isabella Detwiller is Exhibitor 153 and Exhibitor 102, Brenly Elber.
Another really good heat of these junior showmen, and these 2 young ladies that I'm going to ask to come back just did a phenomenal job, especially in terms of intensity and confidence out here. Did a really nice job with both those heifers in terms of walking them into their feet every single time. A really good group of showmen. We went through and talked to each one of the kids that didn't pull, and again, really, really deep, just little tiny things in terms of how quickly and efficiently you get that animal set into their feet. A nice group. Let's give them a round of applause.
Heading back in the ring now for our final drive in the Pee Wee Showman. Exhibitor 30, Lathan Porter. Exhibitor 35, Brinley Dunklow. Exhibitor 182, Mason Blesson. Exhibitor 311, Knox Sells. And Exhibitor 197, Rylan Linneman.
Should be 10?
We are still looking for one Pee Wee Showman to come back for the final drive. Okay. So we should have out there Blakely Katz, Corbin Morgan. Oh, we're missing 304. We're missing Jaron Hansen. So if anybody knows Jaron Hansen, exhibitor 304.
Another really good group of these junior showmen out here. Again, two young ladies that I'm going to pull back for the final round. But just in terms of feet placement, natural ability, walking them into their feet out here, just did an awesome job. Went through and talked to each one of those kids about little tiny things that'll help them on down the line. Walking them into their feet, and, being efficient in terms of the way you get them out here, staying in line, things of those nature. Let's congratulate all these kids as we get into the semifinals.
On the junior side, coming back for our semifinals, which are up next, exhibitor 244, Hayden Fowler, and exhibitor 309, Vienna Sells. So as they're getting our peewee lined up into place, and we want to remind our youth as they get placed after they leave the ring, pass off their animal to mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever's helping you, and take your stick and head to the backdrop for your official photo. Folks, you are not going to want to miss what's coming up next in the North Ring. It's the pre-peewee parade. These are the littles coming out. They're just going to parade through and show off their animals. So the pre-peewee parade will take place immediately after the selection of our peewee showmanship.
Well, as we get out here for the finals here in the Pee Wee division on this side, I went ahead and made Hannah talk the last two heats because I just think it's absolutely unfair to have to place these Pee Wee showmen because they're all cute, they all have a bright future, they're all doing a great job. I went ahead and took the mic back too because I don't want to be going to be the ones breaking these little kids' hearts. I'm going to make her go do it. She's going to show you the top five. These ones over here on the other side will be from 5 down. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause. They're doing an outstanding job.
As she gets them all selected and the high fives are going out on the ring, I tell you, these juniors better watch out because they've got some serious competition coming out of this Pee Wee class. Don't forget the pre-Pee Wee parade is going to take place immediately after this. And for our Pee Wee showmen who are getting placed, make sure you pass off your animal and then take your stick and go to the backdrop for the photo. And just a reminder as well to our Pee-wees, you're going to get some goodies in your banners, and that'll all be waiting for you over at the backdrop. So make sure you pass off your animal and then take your stick and head over to the backdrop for the big photo. For folks that are wandering in right now, you might notice in the south ring, what we are watching is the first round of semis for our junior showmen. We just finished in the north ring, the Pee Wee showman. And as Ronette's going to have the fun opportunity to introduce these pre-Pee Wee parade coming up here momentarily in the north ring.
All right, we're going to have a little fun over here, and I told Hannah and Chisholm they can just kind of watch, and we're going to get our pre-Pee-wees in here, and we'll do a little parade, and we'll have them introduce themselves and tell us how old they are, and they're just anxiously awaiting when they get to do all this fun stuff.
An awesome group of these semifinal juniors out here. And again, I could probably pull 6, 7, 8 of these kids out here. They all just do a really, really nice job. These 5 over here, I thought from start to finish, when they came into heat, when they come back out here, are just incredibly efficient in terms of getting their animals set up. And they still have confidence. They still have poise. They come out here with some style and some authority out here as they not only get their animals set up, but as they walk the ring as well. A really great group of kids. Excited to have these 5 back out here for your finals. Let's congratulate all of them.
Well, over here on our north side, we've got our pre-Pee-wees, and so we're going to go along here and visit with this young lady. I love your pants. Can you tell me your name and how old you are?
I'm 4.
You're 4? What is your name?
Brooks.
Brooks, well, you're doing a great job. Well, how you doing there, young man? How old are you?
3.
You're 3? Oh, my goodness. What's your name?
Bam.
Bam? Well, she likes you a lot, doesn't she? Do you help break her and work with her at home?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a good job, and you're only 3. Big sister better look out, hadn't she?
Yes.
Well, hello, guys. How are you?
Good.
Good. What's your name?
Kitten.
And how old are you?
4.
4? Well, you're doing a great job. I love your hat. You're very welcome. Oh, my goodness, this is the littlest one. Hi.
Hey.
Are you hiding? Can you say hi? Let's put our hands together for our pre-Pee-wees. Thanks for coming out, guys. Oh, we got one more? All right. We got another young lady with some pretty cool pants on. Young lady, come on over here. Do you want to tell me your name?
Tell her your name.
Well, that's all right. You're doing a good job. You going to help Dad or Uncle? Again, let's put our hands together. Thank you to all these youngsters coming out here.
Alicia, could you come to the announcer stand? Now that we got those Pee-wees all lined up at the backdrop, here are your winners in the Pee-wee Showmanship. First place will go to Exhibitor 236, Blakely Katz. Second goes to Exhibitor 197, Raylan Linnerman. Third will go to 196, Audrey Pearson. Fourth to 182, Mason Blesson. Number 30, Lathan Porter is in fifth. Number 6 is Exhibitor 35, Burnley Dunklau. Number 7th is Exhibitor 160, Aisley Beach. 8th went to Exhibitor 311, Knox Sells. 9th went to Exhibitor 148, Corbin Morgan. And 10th went to Exhibitor 304, Jaron Hansen. In our first round of semis on the junior side, coming back for the final drive, Exhibitor 309, Vienna Sells. Exhibitor 102, Brenley Albert. Exhibitor 33, is Hadley Dunklow. Exhibitor 170, Michael Coulterman. And Exhibitor 190, Lauren Johnson. Starting on now with our next round of juniors, this will be class number 6. Just a reminder, our market show gets underway at noon today. Heifers will be followed by steers. Well, Ronette, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen, because we're going to see some destruction a little bit on the rings before we start with this market show at noon.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the change and modification of the schedule, and the reason the Classic kind of did that is to better take care of our customers, our guests here, and do some things to make this junior show a little more relaxed in the back of the barns for the parents. So very excited when we do our market show. After we get done with showmanship here, we'll move our center off to this way, create a nice staging area. So basically our market show will have a nice big ring, and that will be focused on the north side. So that'll be nice. They'll have a nice big staging area, get them out of the back, be able to take our time and have a fun afternoon.
You bet. We've got some amazing animals that are set to come through. We're going to start with the heifers, followed by the steers. Then let's talk quickly about this Classic Premier Heifer selection that comes up tonight.
Tonight it's very exciting. Every boy and girl that purchased a heifer, whether it was in the breed sales, that fancy heifer sale, we'll get that divided into classes, and we'll bring them in and we'll actually select a champion and a reserve. And if you noticed, we got a really cool show box over here, but more importantly, all of the boys and girls that bring their purchases in the ring will be receiving an award.
Wonderful. And then that will be followed by the Classic Premier Steer Show tonight.
another nice heat of these junior showmen, and I'm going to ask these three young individuals that I pulled to come back for your semifinals. A really, really deep group of showmen, and again, probably could have pulled one or two more, but in trying to make sure we don't get too many of these kids out here, I'm going to stick with these three. Went and talked through with those young people who didn't make it, just little tiny things or why they didn't make it. So a nice heat of kids. Let's congratulate all of them.
Coming back for our second semi in our juniors will be Exhibitor 63, LJ Wells, Exhibitor 195, Madison Linneman, and Exhibitor 99, Briggston Birchie. Moving on now to class number 7.
Another really good group of these junior showmen, and not to beat a dead horse here, but just in terms of these kids being able to walk them in and being able to be cognizant of where they are in relation to everyone else, I think all three of these that I pulled did a tremendous job of that. A really good group of showmen all the way through. Again, give these kids a hand as they exit.
Coming back for the next round of semis out of Class 7, number 52, Brooke Hansen. 215, Brantley Wendt, and exhibitor 159, Alea Beach. Entering the ring now will be class number 8. By the way, there is a total of 9. We'll do a semis after class number 9 and then bring them back in for the finals. Then we'll be starting up at noon for the market show, starting first with the heifers, followed by the steers.
Another awesome group of these kids, and again, a really deep set, and maybe just here towards the end, a couple of these calves just didn't want to work with these kids quite as well as they needed to. I'm going to ask the two young individuals that I have pulled against the rail over there to come back for your semifinals. Let's congratulate all of these kids.
All right, coming back for the semifinals out of Class 8 will be Exhibitor 242, Briggs Krause, and Exhibitor 100, Bevan Birchie. We got one final class of junior showmen. This will be Class 9. Then we'll have semis after that. And then our selection of your top 10 when it comes to the junior showmen immediately after. Then at noon, we'll be back with the market show. We'll start first with the heifers, followed by the steers. And a big thank you once again to Purina Mills. Purina Mills is sponsoring jackets for our Showmanship top 5s in the senior, intermediate, and juniors. You will be top 5 winners receiving a certificate for your jacket after the completion of the final drive.
Again, we want to remind you to make sure you're going over to visit the Ruthie K Boutique, which is over there north of Kubota. Get signed up. She's donated a couple bags. We will draw for our first bag before we start our market show at noon. So make sure and go over and visit the Ruthie K Boutique. Must be present to win.
Out here in our final heat, a little bit bigger heat, and so just a few more kids to work through. I'm going to ask these three young individuals that I pulled to the rail to come back for your finals. A really, really good group of kids. Again, let's congratulate all of them.
Headed back for our finals, which will take place here momentarily. Exhibitor 235, Luke Katz. Exhibitor 113, Raylan Snodgrass. And Exhibitor 218, Lily Neighbor.
Another exceptionally good round of these junior showmen out here in your semifinals. I think we've got 5 of them here that are going to be awfully tough as we get back into your final round here. Awesome group of kids, and these cattle maybe aren't just wanting to cooperate with a couple of them as they come back out here, but they did such an awesome job of handling it all the way through. Let's give these kids one more round of applause.
Coming back for your finals, this is the second heat of the semis. 99, Brigton Birchie. Number 63, LJ Wells. Exhibitor 242, Briggs Krause. Exhibitor 100, Bevan Birchie. And Exhibitor 235, Luke Katz. As these final selections are taking place for our junior showmen in this final round, I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you again to Purina Mills. Purina Mills is supplying gift certificates for jackets for our showmen. The top 5 in the senior, intermediate, and juniors will be receiving certificates for jackets, compliments of Purina Mills. And just a reminder to our top showmen, when you are excused from the show ring, make sure you take yourself and your stick over to the backdrop for a picture. You can leave your animal with one you trust and head over to the backdrop.
Well, I'm going to ask all you parents ringside, let's put our hands together for all these juniors. Again, we will start our market show promptly at noon, and again, we'll kind of set our ring up a little different.
Well, as she just said, let's go ahead and give these junior showmen a round of applause. These kids all the way through have just been tremendous, and again, when it gets down to this point, it's just little tiny nitpicky things, and it starts again from when they came in through heat, through semifinal, and all the way till now. And you could place these top 5 showmen in a lot of different ways. I'll do the same as what I did in senior showmanship. Go from 5th on to 1st. Young lady right here is going to be 5th today. Let's give her a round of applause. Maybe not, go ahead and put her right there, hun. Maybe not as intense as some of the other showmen up here, but just so flawless in terms of the way she comes out here and works with that heifer, does a tremendous job with her, and certainly is one that knows what she has in terms of quality in that heifer. Young lady here with the red tagged heifer, you're going to be 4th today. Go ahead and pull her in. Give her a round of applause as well. Not the easiest one to show, and she does just an awesome job of that. Here towards the end, she wanted to start getting a little antsy with you and maybe just wanted to kind of shift out of place in terms of her feet just a few more times, and that's really the only reason you're down in 4th. Love your confidence, love your style, love your poise. Do an awesome job with that heifer. These top 3 showmen are exceptionally good, and again, it comes down to nitpicky things. For me, I break it down to which one did the most in terms of utilizing the ring, walking that animal, doing all of the extras all the way through. Young lady, you're going to be 3rd today. Young lady with the Hereford, you're 2nd. Young man at the back, you're 1st. Let's congratulate them.
Congratulations to all of our juniors. Make sure you take your stick, go to the backdrop. Megan will get your picture, you'll get your banners, you'll get your certificates for jackets sponsored by Purina, the envelopes with the certificates for cash awards. Again, congratulations. Come back ringside at noon. We will start with the market heifers at noon.
And congratulations again to our junior showmen as they make their way to the backdrop for their photos. 1st through 10th, 1st goes to Luke Katz, 2nd to Brindley Albert, 3rd will be Hadley Dunklow, 4th to Vienna Sells, 5th to Bevan Birchie, 6th to Michael Coulterman, 7th to Briggs Krause, 8th goes to Lauren Johnson, 9th to Brixton Birchie, and 10th to LJ Wells. You can see we're starting to make adjustments to our show ring already. We will be back at noon. We're going to start with our market show, and kicking it all off will be our heifers, then followed by the steers,